Hello everybody, this is NAPA Fan here, and this is race number 1 in the 2018 Haas IndyCar Series. The NRLOA Haas IndyCar Series returns, and we are here at the Riverside International Raceway, a 15-lap race for NAPA, Indy, California. And I will address it once again. The computer that I was using for the last, I'd say 5 months or so, will not power on, so we're back to the old laptop that we've used since 2015. So there will be a difference in the quality. There won't be co-commentators for a while, but we're still going to have these races, and we're still going to have fun. And we're here to continue on the weekend here at Riverside on schedule. Yes. Last weekend we didn't get on schedule. We're going to get on schedule this weekend. So we're going to do the IndyCar race, and I'm going to do the Cup race later tonight. And then we're gonna get it all up on schedule, and we should be good to go. Even though it's not as good, we're still going to have fun. We're still going to be happy anyway. And these guys are happy that the Haas IndyCar Series is back. One of the fastest series on NAPA Fan, and we got ourselves a lot of new drivers in this series. A lot of guys who have never been in the Haas IndyCar Series before. But I think they're all going to have a good chance at getting the victory in the championship when the season ends in September. But first, we got to start the season. And we're here at Riverside for the first road course race of the season, Napa, Indy, California, to begin the 2018 NRLOA Haas IndyCar Series. We're not going to sugarcoat it anymore. Let's go ahead and head trackside for the command to fire the engines for the first time this season here in the Napa, Indy, California.
Drivers, start your engines!
And a great command there to fire these guys up. And I'm going to let them roll off here to begin the season here for the 2018 NRLOA Haas IndyCar Series. And we got ourselves one of the new drivers of the Haas IndyCar Series in Justin Zaidel, driving number 28 this season. He will be starting alongside the number 88 car of Colton Yo, and Colton Yo won in his first ever start here on Napa Fan in the Christmas Eve 500 at Daytona. His first win was in a stock car. This is an IndyCar, a much faster race car, but he's got a good chance of winning starting on the front row for today's event. Row number 2, it's the number 10 car driven by Erik Monaco, who did very well in the NAPA Truck Series last season, and Brew De Barros returning to competition. I believe it's only his second ever start on NAPA Fan, but he's there in the number 12 alongside Monaco in row 2. There's our defending Haas IndyCar Series champion, Luke Rainey, in the number 1. Got the win in the Indianapolis 250 and won the championship as well last season. He's starting alongside the number 15 car. That is driven by Tyler O'Reilly. Back to NAPA Fan competition here today. And great to have him back as well. It's been a long time since he's driven, but love seeing that name back in the running. Number 19 car, that is Adam Lewis. He's alongside Davey Johnson, the North State Racing winner, and you saw qualifying earlier on. His driver, Stuart Gratton, will be leading the field of the green flag for tomorrow's Chick-fil-A Cup Series ARCO 400K right here. So Davey Johnson feeling pretty good about that. Got the number 8 car, that is Roger Ray. He's alongside the 18, driven by Max Anderson, who's moving up from Indy Lights. We got John Andrews, he's back to racing here on Napa Fan in the Napa car. And this channel used to be branded off of that car until Alexander Rossi decided to switch numbers, so obviously that didn't happen there. And Marty Johnson, one of the few drivers returning from last season. Number 7 car, that is Isaac Nichols. He's alongside the 27 car of Ace Garcia, who is the points leader coming into tomorrow's race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But anyways, ready to get this one started. Justin Zaidel and Colton Yo ready to lead the field to the green flag here for this 15-lap event. There are no cautions, but there will be one set of pit stops in this race. They will happen about lap 10. The fuel window in these Indy cars, about 10 laps. It'll be about 7 laps for tomorrow's Cup race. And tomorrow's Cup race is going to get a little interesting because there might be a little bit of fuel mileage in that one. But these guys will be able to make it on one stop. It should not be a fuel mileage race, but it'll definitely be interesting to see how those pit stops affect who gets the victory here today. So Justin Zaidel, he's the owner of the Zaidel Motorsports Group in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Colton Yo's a Turkey Hill Series driver. They're both in the Turkey Hill Series full-time. they're off this weekend so that these guys can take to the racetrack and give us a good show. So even though we're on a less powerful computer, we're still going to have just as much fun as we were last week, and it's going to be good here from the Riverside International Raceway. Pace car is going to pull off. It's NAPA, Indy, California, and we're green from Riverside. The 2018 season is here. Oh, and around! Entering the first turn on the course. A few guys went off there, and they're all over the place. That's Max Anderson in the 18 and Marty Johnson in the 9. He got spun around, and that is the number 7 of Isaac Nichols upside down. And remember, there are no cautions on the road courses, so that is just going to stay as it is. Marty Johnson's still in the sand, and he's going to head down the pit lane. We will review that accident at the conclusion of this event, but Justin Zaidel got a very good jump on the start of this one, and he's got a pretty decent advantage over the number 88 of Colton Yeo right now. The number 10, Erik Monaco, Brew De Barros, and Tyler O'Reilly to top 5. Lap 1 will be led by pole sitter Justin Zaidel. Now with that pole, he gains 1 point towards the championship, and that could very well come into play once we head to Auto Club in September. And this season, the finale race will not be double points, so these points are going to mean even more throughout the season than they did in prior years. These guys are all bunching up. Erik Monaco trying to get around the 88 of Colton Yeo, not able to do so. Brew De Barros right behind those guys, with all those guys battling for second place the way they are. The 28 car's pulling away and trying to get this victory pretty early on here in Napa, Indy, California. So after that accident, Max Anderson, Marty Johnson, and Isaac Nichols all at the start got into each other, and around they all went. We got a pass right here. Davey Johnson on his teammate, Luke Rainey. And Davey Johnson's been in this series for, I believe this is his 3rd season, so Johnson a veteran to this series here in the Haas IndyCar Series, trying to get something done here today. And he's dealing with a defending champion, so both of these guys, they are very good. They are veterans, and you're going to want to watch for these guys throughout the season. They could very well rack up a couple of wins. And the 88 has been passed by Erik Monaco, and Colton Yeo definitely not off to the best of starts. He definitely seems to be going slow, and you see this number 10. He's closed in on Justin Zaidel here. Erik Monaco looking pretty strong right now in that number 10 machine for Chip Ganassi Racing. But Zaidel able to hold on for the moment. And I believe everybody else, except for Marty Johnson and Isaac Nichols, are holding on. The number 4 car of Joey Hightower in his first ever start on Napa Fan. He's kind of deep in the field at the end of this pack. But all these guys kind of in a little bit of a draft down the backstretch. And the number 12 of Brew De Barros now to the inside of Colton Yeo. There might be a problem on this 88. He is falling back tremendously through the field. And there goes Tyler O'Reilly for the 4th position on the 88 car. Number 3 right back in here. That is Davey Johnson looking to possibly grab a position from one of these guys. Oh boy, double wide through the S's here is definitely not a good idea. And this racetrack is very, very narrow. You got Luke Rainey now trying to get on Davey Johnson to his outside. And, oh boy, he almost hit the outside wall there. He's going to lose the position to Roger Ray in the 8. Got some good racing going on back in there. We had a pass for the lead. Erik Monaco to the point. Here at Riverside, he got it around Justin Zaidel, and like it always is, when we're not focusing on the lead, they pass for the lead. And that is exactly what happened right there with Erik Monaco getting around the 28. Brew De Barros also doing a good job in the number 12, closing in on Justin Zaidel, but it's Erik Monaco out front here at Riverside on lap 4 of 15. So Monaco, I believe he started in the 3rd position for this race. And he's gotten around the 2 guys who started in front of him for this one, so a great run for him. Now his teammate Marty Johnson got crashed out earlier on, but Chip Ganassi Racing still doing pretty well. And Erik Monaco, who won Atlanta in the Napa Truck Series last fall, and I believe he also won another race as well that season. He's out front looking for his first ever IndyCar Series win. That corner right there. Now, as you guys probably know, we've had a lot of recordings for this weekend that did not end up going up. As a matter of fact, all 3 races were recorded initially, but none of you guys are going to see that. Now, the first race, we had a different issue. These 2 we're redoing because I can't access the replay files, or not the replay files, but the recording files that I did when I actually had the other computer. But I will say that in the CSX Indy Lights race, the first time, the driver who was winning that race dominated the whole way through, except near the end, lap 6 of 7, he ended up overshooting that corner. And none of you guys saw that, but it's very possible one of these guys could make a mistake just like that here today, and I'm wondering if that's what happened with Justin Zeidel, if he overshot that corner right there and gave the lead over to Erik Monaco. Either way, Monaco doing a great job right now in the number 10, and just as I say that, that corner just bit him, and Zeidel goes back by the 10, so I was leading right up to it. It's almost like I knew it was going to happen, but I didn't know it was going to happen ahead of time, but Erik Monaco, he overshot that corner, got into the sand trap just a little bit there, and allowed Justin Zeidel to take the top spot back. So it's a nip and tuck battle between Zeidel and Monaco, and you got Brew De Barros right back in here trying to get something to happen. Tyler already currently running in the 5th position. Davey Johnson in 6th. Roger Ray, Luke Rainey going at it for the 7th position. Rainey's going to take it back from the 8th. And the defending champion trying to grab his 3rd career Haas IndyCar Series win. He won at Richmond and at Indianapolis last season. Adam Lewis, he's in the top 10 in the 27 car of Ace Garcia. He's also in the top 10, driving the number 27 this season. That's the number 20 car of Al Lagasse, and Al Lagasse back to the competition. He's also one of those guys, few guys returning from last season in the Haas IndyCar Series. And how about Joey Hightower? Or sorry, that's the 14, excuse me. Joey Hightower's teammate, Jordan Lopez, in the number 14. He's also a very experienced veteran at this point. And he's right now 12th. You got the number 11 car. Actually, sorry, it's the number 17. I'm still getting used to these cars, guys. That's Cody Sill, driving the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Got the 98 car of John Andrews, the 22 of Igor Barreto, the Titan Fury Motorsports owner in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. The 83 of George Harvick, development driver to John Stewart, who won the last Chick-fil-A Cup Series race last weekend. And then the 26 car of Marcus Sachi's back in there as well, development driver to Jay Jefferson. And I'm sorry. I am sorry. We need to be focusing on this lead because it's getting pretty crazy out there. Monaco back to the point in the number 10. And De Barros got around Zeidel as well, and it looks like Colton Yo's also closed in. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know. This has nothing to do with the fact that we got a different computer that we're using here. Zeidel on De Barros for 2nd. And they're going to remain side by side. That's going to allow Erik Monaco to pull away a little bit more. But I believe the same thing probably happened with Justin Zeidel again. He probably overshot that corner. And the number 10 got back by, and I would like to apologize for not showing the lead when we should. We should be focusing on these guys because the racing is pretty intense out here at the Riverside International Raceway. There he goes, Zeidel for the 2nd position. And he's going to have his eyes set on Monaco yet again. So we've already had 3 lead changes in this race, yes. So that's quite a bit so far here at Riverside, lap 9 of 15. We didn't have 1 lead change yesterday in the CSX Indy Lights race when Steve Morgan dominated that event. But here, they seem to be running just a little bit more aggressively, especially throughout that corner. And I think that's allowing for these guys to make some passes on the racetrack. We're far from over here at Riverside. Still have the pit stops left to go in this event. Marty Johnson is back out on the racetrack in the number 9. But right now it is the number 10 of Erik Monaco leading the field. Lap 9 of 15 here in Napa, Indy, California. Well, these guys closing in on him, or at least attempting to do so. And Colton Yo, number 88, running 4th right now, was able to keep Tyler already behind him, but already's going to try to get to the inside of him here. And Monaco is going to abort to the pit lane and begin the cycle of pit stops. So Zeidel is back out front in the 28. And Zeidel got it back around Bruno De Barros there, so that's why he has inherited the lead. If Seidel did not get around the 12. De Barros would have led that lap, but it's 6 laps to go. Here at Riverside, got some double wide going on back in here. Roger Ray and Luke Rainey, a couple of Chick-fil-A Cup Series drivers battling it out right in there. Adam Lewis in the 19 in the Turkey Hill Series. He's trying to get something done in the 19. He's in the top 10 right now. And with a few guys that came down the pit lane coming down, that allows the 27 car of Ace Garcia and the 20 of Al Lagasse to move their way inside the top 10. Daniel Bouchard is down in the number 40, and Max Anderson is down, but Anderson was involved in that accident earlier on. So just Bouchard and Monaco, the only 2 guys coming down who are basically on the lead lap who are not involved in any incidents. So we'll see where they come out in relation to everybody else here who's going to come down on lap 10. Seidel leads the field down. Davey Johnson, that is the 22 car. And that is Igor Barreto leading a lap here at Riverside as he's going to stay out an extra lap in the number 22. Everybody else is coming down, and that's going to do it for pit stops once Igor Barreto comes in. So Barreto's going to lead a lap there, but there are no bonus points for leading laps here in the Haas IndyCar Series, or in any series at that matter. So definitely going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out. We've had 3 different leaders so far, and I will say that's more than the first recording that we had, so we're getting a pretty good race right now here for the Haas IndyCar Series at Riverside. De Barros in the 12, trying to close in on the 28 here. And I believe these guys are going to come out right on the 10. Here comes Monaco, and he's going to get slowed up by De Barros and Seidel. He's trying to drive around the outside, and they're side by side for the lead here at Riverside. Monaco's going to take it away from Justin Seidel with 5 laps to go. How about that? But this race is far from over, and they're pretty much all in the same positions they were when that cycle of pit stops began. But it's still Erik Monaco out front in the number 10, leading the field in Napa, Indy, California. So Igor Barreto has come down. I do not believe he is going to be a factor in winning this race. And Monaco trying to pull away from Justin Seidel. We'll see if he can successfully do so, but this number 10 has raced a very impressive race. He got around Justin Seidel twice and had the strategy of coming down a lap before everybody else, and it might work out for him. So now lap 12 of 15, 4 laps to go, and Igor Barreto is off the racetrack, or off the pit lane, I should say. And actually, he might be off the racetrack because I don't see him. There he is, excuse me there. Did not see him on the pit lane, and I did not see him coming off the pit lane, so I thought that he might have gotten knocked out, but he didn't. Igor Barreto is still going to gain, though. I think he's going to file in at the 10th position, so a little bit of a gain there for the number 22 of Igor Barreto, but a good gain for him here at Riverside. So Brew De Barros, you got to give a shout out to him. He hasn't raced that much on NAPA before, but here he is running 3rd, and even Colton Yo in the 88. Really haven't seen much of him on NAPA either. Now, he did win in his first ever start, but that 88 has done a pretty good job today. Holding off Tyler already. Got Davey Johnson, Roger Ray, Luke Rainey, and Igor Barreto with Adam Lewis and the 27 of Ace Garcia. That is the top 10. And Monaco hoping that these guys battle hard for the 2nd position, because the more they battle hard, the easier it is for him to pull away. But you got to remember, we saw him make the mistake on that corner. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, turn 7. It's a very treacherous corner, and you see them kind of running into that gravel there. And we've seen these guys overshoot it throughout the day. Got some side-by-side action here, and that's Ace Garcia and Adam Lewis. And Garcia cannot get around the 19. You got Bouchard back in here in the number 40 trying to gain some advantages. He's not able to do so right now, and gonna have 2 laps to go when we cross the line next time by. It's been a very entertaining race. Lots of passing going on here, and those pit stops gave us a very thrilling moment when Erik Monaco came off, but Seidel trying to close in on the number 10, trying to win this race from the pole. Now, Monaco has led the most laps, but like I said, you don't get any points for leading laps in this series, or in any series for that matter, but still, the dominance has shown for Erik Monaco here today. I believe he has the strongest car. He just got to keep it off the wall, and if he can do that, going to get the win, but it's still 2 laps to go. And Seidel closed in that last lap, so Monaco knows he's coming, and he hit that gravel again. And Seidel's going to close in just a little bit more. I think we're shaping up for a pretty decent finish here in Napa, Indy, California at Riverside. And, you know, somebody commented when I let you guys know that I was going to have to switch computers, that this could be a blessing in disguise. Well, I got to tell you that first race that we did, it was kind of meh. This one might not be so meh. It's going to be pretty good, I think. Seidel is closing in the number 28, and I believe it's going to be about half a second when we cross the line for the white flag here in Napa, Indy, California. Will Erik Monaco get the victory, or will it be Justin Seidel? It's 1 lap to go. We got double wide back in here. That is Colton Yeo on Brew De Barros for the 3rd position, but let's focus on the lead. Seidel trying to pressure Monaco into making a mistake. 0.3 of a second that last lap. Justin Seidel closed in 0.7. We'll see what Monaco does through this corner. Turn 7, a very treacherous one. He kept it pretty clean, but the 28's not too far behind. I think Monaco got the better run. And that might do it. Erik Monaco in the number 10, able to get through turn 7 just fine. De Barros holding off Colton Yeo in the 88. And I believe that the number 10's going to do it. I don't think Seidel's close enough to catch up to him here, so that's going to do it. And if Monaco made a mistake through turn 7 right there, that could have been the end of his day. But fortunately for him, it was not. And from the 3rd starting position, it's going to be Erik Monaco, who wins the first race of the season. He's coming down the pit lane on the final lap, and Justin Seidel wins Napa, Indy, California, here at Riverside. Oh my! You gotta be kidding me! You gotta be kidding me! Something amiss on the number 10 of Erik Monaco. And he had to come down the pit lane. We'll see what he does here. This is unbelievable. Monaco will officially finish in the 10th position. But just the most unbelievable event that I have ever seen in any race before. And the winner is going to be Justin Seidel in the number 28 from the pole, getting the victory here at Riverside. Absolutely unbelievable what we just saw right there. Something happened to Erik Monaco, but on the last lap of the race, you do not take it to the pit lane. You just keep on going. I mean, he was probably 500 feet from the start-finish line, and he came down the pit lane. And I'm wondering what the deal was. I mean, he did not seem to have any issues coming to that point in the race. But apparently, he was not able to continue going, and the number 28 will be the winner here today at Napa, Indy, California. Yeah, this race was definitely a lot more exciting than the first one we did, let me tell you that. But definitely heartbreak on the number 10 of Erik Monaco coming around the final corner of the race. He almost had the victory. But something amiss on the 10, he came down the pit lane. And actually, we have seen that before. Season 4 Atlanta in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Gabriel Wanderlei was leading. They're at the final couple of corners, and he came down the pit lane on the final lap. That gave the win to Garrett Senor. We saw that same thing here today with Justin Seidel getting the victory here in Napa, Indy, California from the pole. But he was not the dominant guy of this race, let me tell you that. That was Erik Monaco. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what happened with that first incident of the race. Of course, it did not bring out a caution, but it would have if we had them on. This is the start of the race. Isaac Nichols took it 3 wide on Marty Johnson and John Andrews. And see what happens here. It was John Andrews who hit the curb. And that got into Isaac Nichols, Marty Johnson, and Max Anderson. So it was Andrews who actually caused the accident, but he continued on in the 98, but very unfortunate one for him. But this is the way it goes sometimes. A tough way to start off the season for Nichols and Johnson especially. You see these guys back in there coming down the racetrack. And that's 7 down the pit lane. We're going to go through the cockpit view of Erik Monaco here at the finish of this race to see what might have happened for him to come down the pit lane coming to the checkered flag. A very unfortunate break for him. You see Justin Zaidel driving by him and taking the checkered flag, and Monaco will officially finish in the 10th position, but there were no signs of any issue on that race car, and I just don't understand why he came down the pit lane. But anyways, Justin Zaidel will get the victory here today in Napa, Indy, California. 51 points towards the championship, 50 for the win, and 1 for the pole position. And a great way to start his season here at the Riverside International Raceway. I just don't know. Now we know. Now we know. An oil leak on the number 10. So there was an official issue on his machine. So it is good to know that something did in fact happen, and he just didn't come down the pit lane for no reason. But Erik Monaco with an oil leak right on the last lap of the race. That is a tough break, and I mean, still got a top 10 finish, but he was doing much better throughout this race than that, and kind of hard to see that happen out of him. But still, Justin Zaidel, I know he's happy getting the victory here at Riverside, and one of the most interesting finishes we have ever seen here on NAPA Fan. But it would not have happened if my computer didn't turn on yesterday. So you know what? It was a blessing in disguise. We got a pretty good finish here today. It was Justin Zaidel, Brew De Barros, Colton Yo, Tyler O'Reilly, Davey Johnson, Roger Ray, Luke Rainey, Igor Barreto, and Ace Garcia with Erik Monaco rounding out the top 10. Take a look at the rest of this. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. Only incident of the day was that one with John Andrews, Marty Johnson, Isaac Nichols, and Max Anderson, and of course you see Anderson, Johnson, and Nichols finishing in the last 3 positions. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching, and congratulations to Justin Zaidel on his victory here today, the Riverside International Raceway. And hey, Erik Monaco, he's going to get a win this season, I can tell you that. Next race is going to be at Phoenix at the end of the month, Easter weekend, by the way. That's going to be a Friday evening race from the Phoenix International Raceway, and hope you guys stick around for that one. Going to be a little while before we get back to racing here in the Haas IndyCar Series, but don't you worry. That Phoenix race is going to be crazy. Going to have a lot of passing and probably a lot of crashing, too. That's a really, really crazy place. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Justin Zaidel, and here are the point standings for the 2018 NRLOA Haas IndyCar Series. I will see you guys later.
Just the king of my castle, I'm going to battle. Ain't no giant here too tall, I couldn't handle